All right, so I need to rewind this part and actually put this into the front of the video because I completely forgot to say, stick around until the very end because I'm going to be doing my January giveaway. All right, on to the video. Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name is Peter Fastiano. Today's Monday. I have a bourbon review coming at you. Old Forester 1924, 10-year-old. Just like always, we're going to pour it, nose it, taste it, talk about it a little bit. I'm going to add some water to it, and then if you stick around until the very end, I am going to give this a score. So the stats on this, 10 years of age. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 100 proof, 50% ABV. It's got a mash bill of 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malted barley. I am not positive if this is the normal mash bill for Old Forester. If you know, let me know in the comments down below. And I do believe this is the second release. I never got my hands on or even saw the 2024 release. But early in January, this hit our market. It flooded our market, so I ended up picking up 2 bottles. One for me and then one for Stuff and Whiskey. They do an October fundraiser for To Write Love on Our Arms, and I'm going to donate one of the bottles to that charity. It's a 750 milliliter bottle, and I paid $114.99 for this. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the nose. I can already smell it is an Old Forester. It has that maple banana note to it. But let's go ahead and get it a little bit closer and tell you specifically what other notes are in here. It is very oaky. I mean, really oaky. Even for a 10-year, I think it punches well above its weight in the oak profile. Good amounts of vanilla, slight amount of cherry, almost no spice to mention. And then obviously there is that Old Forester banana maple note as well. It does smell pretty proofy and 100 proof, 50% ABV. I had expected it to be a little bit more muted, but it's not. It is screaming out of the glass. All right, my mouth is watering like crazy. Let me go ahead and get this thing on the palate, let you know what I think of it. Cheers, everybody. Chocolate up front, vanilla, brown sugar, caramel, tons of oak, and holy cow, is this thing settling in. 100 proof. Ooh. It is, oh man, it is drinking hot. Holy cow. Hold on a second. That took me by surprise. All right, I had to take a sip of water there. Give me a second. There's a lot to unpack here. Before I took a sip of water, it was very oaky. There was a lot of weight to it, very dense, very saturating. The brown sugar, caramel, vanilla notes were there. Maple banana note was definitely there. And that proof kind of hit unexpectedly. It was sweet upon arrival, kind of glided through the mid palate, oak set in on the side. On that finish, it kind of just started to build and build and build. And the next thing you know, it kind of got away from me. I was not expecting that at all. I don't know if I quite like that. That was my first sip. My mouth is still watering in anticipation of that second sip. Hopefully that first sip fooled me quite a bit. But this is a very loud bourbon. So let me go ahead and get that second sip in, add some water, and talk about the bottle. All right, here we go, second sip. It calmed down a little bit, but it's still drinking pretty hot. That banana note is coming through. Really dark saturation of flavors. Oaky, a little bitter, and it's drying on the back end. A little bit of cherry, a little bit of tobacco, and what is it? Tobacco and like a dark, bitter chocolate. I gotta tell you what, that finish is lasting forever. It's like setting up camp, and it is hitting the throat right here. It's underneath the tongue. There is a rising bitterness. That 100 proof, that heat is still radiating through my chest. Tell you what, I was not expecting that at all. I've had this a couple of times, so I guess it's kind of a fib to say I wasn't expecting it. This did drink hot from the second I opened it until now. I thought maybe it was going to calm down a little bit, but it really hasn't. There are aspects of this that I like a whole lot, and then there's some that I'm not too keen on. If you have had the Old Forester 1924 from last year, and you were fortunate enough to get a bottle of this year's, and you've compared them, how do they compare to you? So what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of water to this. Hopefully it will calm down the heat that it's bringing. And maybe bring out a little bit more of the subtleties of what I was kind of hoping for. All right, so if you don't know, Old Forester 1924 is the most recent addition to Old Forester's Whiskey Row. The first edition came out last year, 2024. This is a new edition, and I believe they are going to be a limited annual edition going forward. Now, I'm always curious on where the names come from. So during Prohibition, the government shut down the distilleries, and I believe like there were over 200 distilleries that shut their doors, a lot of them for good. And at some point, the federal government allowed 6 distilleries to continue to bottle the distillate that they had. Now, here's where this information gets a little bit tricky. Even though Old Forester was not distilling, they were actually pulling barrels that were in storage from other distilleries, bringing them together with multiple different mash bills, and then they were bottling them under their own name. And if I'm not mistaken, that all happened in 1924. The other 5 distilleries, I have it written down here, the other 5 distilleries that were granted a medicinal license was Glenmore Distilleries, never heard of it, Frankfurt Distilleries, I think I've heard of before, Schenley, American Medicinal Spirits, and A.P.H. Stitzel. I think that might be the Stitzel Weller Distillery. Not exactly positive. If you know those names and if there are bourbons or whiskeys that are in the market right now that are associated with those 5 distilleries, let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure there are a bunch of people out there that would really like to know if these distilleries are still in business, and if they are, what are they producing? For some reason, I just think that the Frankfurt Distillery might have something to do with Yellowstone. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly positive, but I think I saw when I was doing the quick research that Yellowstone popped up with the association of Frankfurt. Again, but I'm not positive. And then I think the whole tradition or the honoring of the different mash bills, I think, and again, not positive, let me know in the comments down below, I think the mash bill that I mentioned of this bottle, 79% corn, 11% rye, 10% malted barley, is not the normal mash bill of Old Forester. So I think in keeping in that tradition of having all of these different barrels with different mash bills bottling as their own, I think they came up with this mash bill to commemorate or to honor what they did in 1924. So that's that. Hopefully that gave the water a little bit of time to do its thing. So let me get it on the nose, on the palate, and then give it a score. A lot more oak, a little bit more spice. I think there's more of a cherry note, and the banana maple is now kind of taking a back seat. Still a good amount of tobacco and chocolate. And I'd have to say, I think I prefer this with water on the nose than without. So let's get it on the palate and see if anything's changed there. All right, so I don't know if you can see it or hear it in my voice, but this got even more spicy after I added the water. My eyes are watering. It hit the side of my tongue or underneath my tongue with a tremendous amount of spice. The finish is even longer and hotter with the water. I like this on the nose with the water, and I like it on the palate without the water. It just increased the spice. It increased the heat. The oak set in even more. You lost the nuances, or at least I did. I lost the nuances of the chocolate and the tobacco. The subtleties of the cherry, the maple, brown sugar, and vanilla are all there, but I think they're masked a little bit more with the spice, with the water. This is just me. You can drink your whiskey any way that you want, but going forward, I will not be putting water in this. It threw off the balance for me. It's way too spicy and not enough sweet. So I'm, again, going to be very curious to hear from you. Have you had this one, the new one, and the old one? How do they compare? Which one do you like more? Now, I am going to score this without the water. So on the nose and on the palate, I think it is good. I don't think it's outstanding or outrageous. I am very grateful that I ended up getting a bottle. It was a highly anticipated bottle for me that I could not get my hands on last year. I really had high hopes for that, which is something I should probably learn not to have. I really do enjoy the saturation of flavors, but I don't like how out of balance it is with the heat, the oak, the sweet, and the spice. Drinking hotter than 100 proof, and the balance of this is just not there for me. And then adding the water to it the balance is thrown off even more. So if you're new here and you don't know what's going on, I rate everything out of 5 stars. And based on everything that I said, I am going to put this at I want to put this at a 3.25. 3.25. I would like it to be more balanced. I like the oak. I like the cherry, the subtle cherry notes. I like the banana, but I do not like how hot it's drinking. And because of that, 3.25. It's going to be put into my blind sample pool with some of the other whiskey roast selections, just to kind of see how it fares with those. And that's where I'm at. So before I go, there is a February giveaway happening. All of the rules to that giveaway are in the description below. And I also need to do my January giveaway. All right, I got my phone. I got my randomized wheel. Again, thank you everybody that has participated in the January giveaway. Just short of $200, so I'm not doing the 2 spins of the wheel. I'll do 1 spin. My email is in the description below. If you are the person that is winning, you get the 2-ounce samples of my first Friday Flight Fight, which was Redbreast. Just to let you know, I'm at the very end of my Redbreast 27. So if it's short of 2 ounces, you're just going to get what's left in the bottle. And then you can choose 6 2-ounce samples of anything else that I reviewed in the month of January. So let's go ahead and get the wheel spun and see who the winner is for January. Good luck to everybody. All right, so it looks like we've got S&D Lynch. S&D Lynch, that's going to be a new name. I don't think I recall seeing this before. So congratulations, S&D Lynch. My email is in the description below. You can also email me or contact me through Whiskey is a Journey on Instagram. Again, February has just started, so all of the rules to the February giveaway are in the description below. That's where I'm going to leave it. So wherever you are at in your journey, I hope you are enjoying it. And until the next time, we'll talk to everybody later. Bye.